Ever wondered if generosity could be your secret weapon for success? The audiobook Give More: How Giving More Will Get You More Give reveals the surprising power of strategic giving. Discover how strategic giving can unlock doors you never knew existed while avoiding the pitfalls of misguided generosity. Don't risk missing out on the transformative benefits of strategic giving. Learn to create a self-sustaining network of goodwill that propels your personal and professional growth to new heights. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1: The Value Loop. In a world often driven by self-interest and immediate gratification, the concept of giving more to get more might seem counterintuitive. Yet, this paradoxical approach holds the key to unlocking unprecedented levels of success, fulfillment, and personal growth. Welcome to the Value Loop, a revolutionary framework that challenges traditional notions of generosity and redefines the way we approach giving and receiving. Imagine a world where every act of kindness, every gesture of support, and every moment of generosity sets in motion a chain reaction of positive outcomes. This is not a utopian fantasy, but a reality that becomes possible when we understand and harness the power of the value loop. At its core, this concept represents a fundamental shift in how we perceive the flow of value in our personal and professional lives. Traditionally, we've been conditioned to view giving and receiving as linear transactions, discrete events with a clear beginning and end. You give something, and maybe you get something in return. End of story. But what if we told you that this linear model is not only limiting, but also fails to capture the true potential of generosity? The value loop proposes a radically different perspective. It suggests that giving and receiving are not isolated events, but part of an ongoing, interconnected cycle. Every time you give, you're not just transferring value to someone else. You're initiating a process that will eventually circle back to benefit you in ways you might not even anticipate. This cyclical nature of value creation is the beating heart of the value loop. But here's the catch. To truly benefit from this loop, you need to approach giving with the right mindset and strategy. It's not about random acts of kindness or giving for the sake of giving. Strategic generosity, as we'll explore throughout this book, is about understanding how to give in ways that create maximum impact, both for the recipient and for yourself. As you embark on this journey through Give More, you'll discover how to tap into this powerful cycle. You'll learn to identify opportunities for high-impact giving, understand the ripple effects of your generosity, and ultimately create a self-sustaining ecosystem of value that propels you towards your goals. In this first chapter, we'll lay the groundwork for understanding the value loop. We'll explore what you can expect to achieve as you apply these principles, the long-term benefits of embracing this approach, and the crucial steps involved in making the value loop work for you. Let's start by considering what you should be able to achieve the first time you go through this book. First and foremost, you'll gain a deep understanding of the value loop concept. This isn't just about grasping an abstract idea. It's about internalizing a new way of thinking about value creation and exchange. You'll begin to see how every interaction, every relationship, and every opportunity is part of this larger cycle of giving and receiving. Moreover, you'll become acutely aware of the mindset shifts required to unlock the power of strategic generosity. This isn't about making drastic changes overnight, but rather about gradually reorienting your perspective. You'll start to recognize opportunities for giving that you might have overlooked before, and you'll begin to approach these opportunities with a more strategic mindset. But the real magic happens when you continue to apply these principles over time. As you consistently engage in strategic giving, you'll start to see remarkable changes in your personal and professional life. trust and goodwill in your relationships will deepen, opening doors to new opportunities and collaborations. You'll find yourself surrounded by a network of individuals who are not only willing but eager to support your endeavors. Perhaps most excitingly, you'll experience the compound effect of generosity. Just as compound interest can dramatically grow financial investments over time, compound giving can exponentially increase the value you create and receive. Each act of giving builds upon the last, creating a snowball effect that amplifies your impact and returns. So, what's involved in making this happen? The journey begins with adopting an abundance mindset. This means shifting away from the scarcity mentality that often holds us back from giving freely. Instead of seeing the world as a zero-sum game where your gain is someone else's loss, you'll start to recognize that value can be created and expanded, benefiting everyone involved. Next, you'll learn to focus on contributions rather than immediate results. This can be challenging in a world that often demands instant gratification, but it's crucial for long-term success. By concentrating on the value you're putting into the world rather than what you're getting back, you set the stage for more significant returns down the line. Finally, you'll develop the skill of identifying areas where your giving can have the most long-term impact. This involves understanding your unique strengths and resources, recognizing the needs of those around you, and finding the sweet spot where these intersect. Why are these steps important, and why have we chosen to present them in this order? The answer lies in the foundational nature of mindset. Developing the right mindset is the crucial first step because it colors everything that follows. Without an abundance mentality, attempts at strategic giving can feel forced or inauthentic. By starting with this shift in perspective, we ensure that all subsequent actions come from a place of genuine generosity and strategic thinking. Understanding the cyclical nature of the value loop is the next critical piece. This understanding eliminates transactional expectations, allowing for more authentic giving. When you truly internalize the idea that giving and receiving are part of an ongoing cycle rather than isolated events, it frees you from the need for immediate reciprocation. This, in turn, allows you to give more freely and strategically. Lastly, learning to identify impactful areas for giving ensures that your efforts are both effective and sustainable. By focusing your generosity where it can create the most value, you maximize the potential for positive outcomes, both for the recipients of your giving and for yourself. Now, let's delve deeper into what makes giving and receiving cyclical rather than linear. In a linear model, giving is seen as a one-time transaction. You give something, and that's the end of it. But in reality, every act of giving sets off a chain reaction. When you provide value to someone, it doesn't just benefit them in that moment, it creates a ripple effect. For instance, imagine you offer valuable advice to a colleague. Not only does this help them in their immediate situation, but it also builds trust and goodwill in your relationship. This strengthened relationship might lead to future collaborations, introductions to new contacts, or opportunities you couldn't have anticipated. Moreover, your colleague, having benefited from your generosity, might be inspired to pay it forward, creating even more positive outcomes in your shared network. This is how value compounds when generosity creates trust and collaboration. Each act of giving doesn't just create a single instance of value, it lays the groundwork for future value creation. As trust deepens and collaboration increases, the potential for mutual benefit grows exponentially. The ripple effect of generosity extends far beyond the initial act of giving. Small acts of generosity can influence larger networks in ways that are often surprising and far-reaching. A simple introduction you make might lead to a groundbreaking partnership. A piece of advice you share could inspire someone to pursue a new direction in their career, leading to innovations that benefit many. Recognizing how interconnected relationships amplify giving's impact is crucial to fully leveraging the power of the value loop. In our increasingly networked world, the effects of your generosity can spread far beyond your immediate circle. By understanding this, you can start to see each act of giving not as an isolated event, but as the beginning of a potentially far-reaching chain of positive outcomes. As we conclude this first chapter, it's important to note that the value loop is not just a theoretical concept. It's a practical framework that, when applied consistently, can transform your approach to personal and professional relationships. By embracing this cyclical view of giving and receiving, you're setting yourself up for a journey of growth, opportunity, and lasting success. In the chapters that follow, we'll explore various aspects of strategic giving in greater depth. We'll delve into the paradoxical nature of giving and receiving, examine how to build trust through systematic generosity, and uncover the critical role that timing plays in maximizing the impact of your giving. As you turn the page to the next chapter, prepare to challenge your preconceptions about generosity. The journey ahead will reveal how giving more can indeed lead to getting more, but only if you understand the intricate dance of reciprocity and the strategic nuances of thoughtful giving. The value loop is just the beginning. A whole new world of opportunity awaits those who master the art of strategic generosity. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, The Giving Paradox. Have you ever experienced the joy of giving only to find yourself puzzled by an unexpected sense of fulfillment? Or perhaps you've witnessed someone's act of generosity and wondered about their true motives. Welcome to the intriguing world of the giving paradox, where the lines between giving and receiving blur in the most fascinating ways. At first glance, giving might seem straightforward. You offer something of value to another person, and that's the end of the story. But what if I told you that the act of giving is far more complex and rewarding than it appears on the surface? What if the very act of giving could set in motion a series of events that ultimately benefit you in ways you never imagined? This is the essence of the giving paradox, a phenomenon that challenges our conventional understanding of generosity and success. It's a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first, but as we delve deeper, you'll discover how it can become a powerful driver of meaningful relationships and long-term success in both your personal and professional life. But why is understanding this paradox so crucial? In a world that often emphasizes self-interest and immediate gratification, grasping the true nature of giving can set you apart. It's the key to unlocking deeper, more fulfilling connections with others and creating opportunities that might otherwise remain hidden. Consider for a moment how many people approach giving. They might offer help or resources with an expectation of immediate return, or perhaps they give grudgingly, viewing it as a necessary evil in social interactions. These approaches miss the mark entirely, leading to missed opportunities and superficial connections that fail to stand the test of time. The giving paradox invites us to look beyond these limited perspectives. It challenges us to explore the deeper, often unseen dynamics at play when we engage in acts of generosity. As we unpack this concept, you'll begin to see how misunderstanding the paradox can lead us astray, while embracing it can open doors to unprecedented growth and success. At the heart of the giving paradox lies a fascinating aspect of human psychology, the principle of reciprocity. This innate drive to give back when we receive is deeply ingrained in our social fabric. It's a powerful force that has shaped human interactions for millennia, yet it often operates below our conscious awareness. Think about the last time someone did something unexpectedly kind for you. How did you feel? Chances are, you experienced a mix of gratitude and a subtle sense of obligation, a desire to return the favor in some way. This is reciprocity at work, a silent agreement that helps balance our social interactions and build trust between individuals. But the psychology of reciprocity goes far beyond simple tit-for-tat exchanges. When we give freely and genuinely, we trigger a response in others that goes beyond mere obligation. We create a sense of goodwill, fostering an environment where trust can flourish and collaboration becomes not just possible, but natural and desirable. This is where the true power of the giving paradox begins to reveal itself. By initiating the cycle of giving, we set in motion a series of positive interactions that can yield returns far beyond our initial act of generosity. It's not about keeping score or expecting immediate payback. Instead, it's about creating an atmosphere of mutual support and shared success. As we explore this concept further, it's crucial to distinguish between self-interest and mutual benefit. Many people approach giving with a mindset of, "What's in it for me?" This self-centered approach often backfires, as others can sense the underlying motive and respond with skepticism or withdrawal. The giving paradox encourages us to shift our perspective. Instead of focusing solely on personal gain, we're invited to consider how our actions can create opportunities for mutual success. This doesn't mean ignoring our own needs or desires. Rather, it's about expanding our view to see how our success can be intertwined with the success of others. Imagine a workplace where everyone is focused on how they can contribute to their colleagues' success. In such an environment, collaboration would flourish, innovation would thrive, and the overall success of the organization would likely skyrocket. This is the power of focusing on mutual benefit rather than narrow self-interest. But how do we make this shift in our daily lives? It starts with a change in mindset. Instead of approaching each interaction with a "what can I get" attitude, try asking yourself, "What value can I bring to this situation?" This simple reframe can dramatically alter the dynamics of your relationships and open up new possibilities for collaboration and growth. As you begin to prioritize the value you bring to others over immediate rewards, you'll likely notice a shift in how people respond to you. Doors that were previously closed might start to open. Opportunities you hadn't considered might present themselves. This is the giving paradox in action. By focusing outward, we often receive more in return. It's important to note that this approach doesn't require grand gestures or significant sacrifices. In fact, some of the most powerful acts of giving are often small, thoughtful actions that demonstrate your genuine care and attention. Offering help, sharing advice, or simply listening attentively without expecting anything in return can be powerful ways to engage with the giving paradox. As you embark on this journey of strategic giving, one of the most crucial skills to develop is the ability to let go of outcomes. This can be challenging in a world that often emphasizes immediate results and tangible returns on investment. However, trusting in the long-term process of giving is essential to fully embracing the giving paradox. When we give with specific expectations of what we'll receive in return, we set ourselves up for potential disappointment. Moreover, these expectations can color our interactions, making our giving feel less authentic and potentially less impactful. By letting go of the need for immediate reciprocation, we free ourselves to give more genuinely and open ourselves up to unexpected positive outcomes. This doesn't mean that you should give indiscriminately or without any thought to your own well-being. In fact, one of the potential pitfalls of misunderstanding the giving paradox is the risk of overgiving without boundaries. This can lead to burnout and resentment, ultimately undermining the positive effects of your generosity. The key is to find a balance. Set clear limits for yourself about what you're willing and able to give. Remember that your own well-being is crucial. You can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of yourself and setting healthy boundaries, you ensure that your giving remains sustainable and truly beneficial for all involved. Another common pitfall is giving with hidden expectations. This often happens when we haven't fully embraced the spirit of the giving paradox. We might give outwardly, but inwardly we're keeping score, waiting for our return on investment. When these hidden expectations go unfulfilled, it can lead to frustration and a reluctance to continue giving. The solution here is to focus on authentic generosity. Give because you genuinely want to contribute, not because you're expecting something specific in return. Trust in the process and understand that the benefits of giving often come in unexpected forms and at unexpected times. As you navigate the intricacies of the giving paradox, you'll likely encounter situations that challenge your understanding and test your commitment to this approach. These moments of difficulty are not setbacks, but opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. For instance, you might find yourself in a situation where your generosity seems to go unnoticed or unappreciated. In these moments, it's important to remember that the true value of giving often lies beyond immediate recognition. The connections you build, the trust you establish, and the reputation you cultivate through consistent giving can yield benefits far beyond any single interaction. Moreover, the act of giving itself can be inherently rewarding. As you embrace the giving paradox, you may find that the simple act of contributing positively to someone else's life brings its own sense of fulfillment and purpose. This intrinsic reward can be a powerful motivator, helping you persist in your giving even when external validation is not immediately forthcoming. Another challenge you might face is the temptation to keep score or compare your giving with others. In a world that often quantifies success in measurable terms, it can be tempting to try to calculate the return on investment of your generosity. However, this approach misses the essence of the giving paradox. The true power of strategic giving lies not in immediate, measurable returns, but in the long-term, often intangible benefits it creates. These might include stronger relationships, enhanced reputation, increased trust, and a broader network of support. These benefits, while harder to quantify, can be far more valuable than any direct reciprocation. As you continue to explore and apply the principles of the giving paradox, you'll likely find that your perspective on success and relationships begins to shift. You may start to see opportunities for giving and collaboration where you previously saw only competition or transactional exchanges. This shift in perspective can be transformative, opening up new avenues for personal and professional growth. Remember, embracing the giving paradox is not about becoming a martyr or sacrificing your own needs. It's about recognizing that our success and the success of others are often intertwined. By contributing to the success of those around us, we create an environment of mutual support and shared growth that ultimately benefits everyone involved. As we conclude this exploration of the giving paradox, it's worth reflecting on how this concept might reshape your approach to relationships and success. How might your personal and professional life change if you fully embrace the principles we've discussed? What new opportunities might emerge if you consistently prioritized giving value over seeking immediate returns? The journey of understanding and applying the giving paradox is ongoing. Each interaction, each act of generosity is an opportunity to deepen your understanding and refine your approach. As you move forward, remain open to the unexpected ways in which your giving might come back to benefit you. In the next chapter, we'll delve into a concept that builds upon the foundation we've laid here. We'll explore how to take your giving to the next level, transforming it from random acts of kindness into a powerful strategic tool. But be warned, this next step might challenge everything you thought you knew about the nature of generosity and success. Are you ready to discover the hidden power that lies at the intersection of strategy and generosity? Chapter 3: Strategic Generosity. As we delve into this chapter, you might be wondering what exactly strategic generosity means. After all, isn't generosity supposed to be spontaneous, heartfelt, and free from calculation? While these qualities certainly have their place, there's a powerful approach to giving that can amplify your impact and create lasting positive change, both for others and for yourself. Imagine for a moment that you had a roadmap for your generosity, a way to ensure that every act of kindness, every offer of help, and every resource shared could create the maximum possible benefit. This is the essence of strategic generosity, a thoughtful, intentional approach to giving that aligns your actions with your values and goals while meeting the genuine needs of others. But why is this approach so important? In a world where we're constantly bombarded with opportunities to give, from social media fundraisers to workplace charity drives, it's easy to fall into a pattern of scattered, unfocused generosity. While any act of kindness has value, strategic giving allows you to create bigger, more measurable impacts. It's the difference between throwing a pebble into a pond and creating a ripple versus dropping a boulder and generating waves that reach the shore. Moreover, when you approach giving with intention and forethought, you build trust in a way that random acts of kindness, while appreciated, often can't match. Think about it. Who would you trust more? Someone who occasionally does nice things on a whim, or someone who consistently offers thoughtful, relevant support that truly meets your needs? As we explore this concept further, you'll discover that strategic generosity isn't about being calculating or self-serving. Instead, it's about maximizing the positive impact of your giving, ensuring that your efforts create genuine value for others while aligning with your own goals and values. It's a way of giving that's sustainable, impactful, and deeply fulfilling. So, what are the essential criteria for strategic giving? At its core, strategic generosity is about alignment, ensuring that what you're offering matches what others truly need. This might sound simple, but it requires a level of awareness and empathy that goes beyond surface-level assumptions. Consider a situation where a colleague is struggling with a project. The instinct might be to jump in and offer to take over some of their tasks. While well-intentioned, this might not be what they actually need. Perhaps what they really require is guidance on prioritizing their workload or introductions to resources they weren't aware of. By taking the time to understand the real need, your giving becomes more targeted and effective. This alignment is crucial because it prevents one of the biggest risks in unfocused generosity: wasted effort and resources. How often have you given something, be it time, energy, or material goods, only to realize later that it wasn't really what the recipient needed or wanted? Strategic giving minimizes these mismatches, ensuring that your generosity creates genuine value. But strategic generosity goes beyond just matching needs. It's about offering thoughtful, intentional value rather than engaging in random acts of kindness. While spontaneous generosity certainly has its place, intentional actions often have a more significant and lasting impact. Think about the difference between randomly buying coffee for the person behind you in line versus mentoring a junior colleague over several months. Both are acts of kindness, but the latter is more likely to create substantial long-term value. It's not that small acts of kindness aren't valuable, they absolutely are. But when you're looking to create significant impact, intentional, sustained efforts often yield greater results. So how do you find these opportunities for high-impact giving? It starts with awareness of yourself, of others, and of the broader context in which you're operating. Begin by taking stock of your own strengths, resources, and areas of expertise. What unique value can you offer? This might be professional skills, personal experiences, network connections, or any other assets you possess. Next, tune into the needs of those around you. This doesn't mean trying to solve everyone's problems, but rather developing a keen sense of where your capabilities might intersect with others' needs. Listen actively in conversations, pay attention to challenges people mention, and stay attuned to opportunities where your unique strengths could make a difference. As you begin to identify these opportunities, it can be helpful to create what we might call a giving map. This isn't a physical document, but rather a mental framework that helps you match your strengths to others' needs. Start by listing out your key strengths and resources. Then, consider the various spheres of your life: work, personal relationships, community involvement, and identify areas where these strengths could be applied to meet existing needs. For example, if one of your strengths is clear communication, you might identify opportunities to help colleagues improve their presentation skills, assist a local nonprofit with their messaging, or mentor students in public speaking. By mapping out these possibilities, you create a roadmap for your giving that ensures your efforts are both impactful and aligned with your capabilities. As you put this into practice, it's crucial to focus on actions that are high leverage for both you and the recipient. High leverage actions are those that create significant impact relative to the effort invested. For the giver, this might mean focusing on areas where you have unique expertise or resources. For the recipient, it's about addressing fundamental needs or unlocking new opportunities. For instance, if you're a skilled project manager, Helping a colleague organize their workload might be a high-leverage action. It requires relatively little time from you, but could significantly improve their productivity and reduce their stress. Similarly, introducing two people in your network who could benefit from knowing each other is a low-effort, high-impact form of giving. As you engage in strategic giving, it's important to track results over time. This isn't about keeping score or expecting returns, but rather about ensuring that your efforts are sustainable and truly impactful. Pay attention to the outcomes of your giving. Are you seeing positive changes? Are the recipients benefiting in the ways you hoped? Is your giving sustainable, or are you feeling drained? This ongoing assessment allows you to refine your approach, focusing on the types of giving that create the most value while ensuring that you're not overextending yourself. Remember, strategic generosity is about creating sustainable, long-term impact, not burning yourself out in a flurry of giving. Of course, as with any approach, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of in strategic giving. One common mistake is giving in areas where you lack expertise. While the intention might be good, this can sometimes do more harm than good. Imagine trying to offer financial advice when you're not well-versed in personal finance. Your well-meaning suggestions could lead someone astray. The solution here is to align your giving with your strengths. Focus on areas where you have genuine expertise or resources to offer. This doesn't mean you can't give in other areas, but when you're looking to create significant impact, playing to your strengths is often the most effective approach. Another potential issue is spreading yourself too thin by trying to help too many people or causes at once. While it might seem noble to try to help everyone, this approach often leads to burnout and reduced effectiveness. The solution is to focus on quality over quantity. It's better to make a significant impact in a few areas than to have a minimal effect across many. As you embrace strategic generosity, you'll likely find that it transforms not just the impact of your giving, but also how you view opportunities and relationships. You'll start to see potential for creating value where you might not have noticed before. Conversations become opportunities for meaningful exchange, challenges become chances to offer impactful support, and your network becomes a web of potential for mutual growth and benefit. This shift in perspective is one of the most powerful outcomes of strategic giving. It moves you from a mindset of scarcity, where giving is seen as a zero-sum game, to one of abundance, where giving creates expanding circles of value and opportunity. Moreover, as you consistently engage in strategic giving, you'll likely find that it enhances your reputation and strengthens your relationships in ways you might not have anticipated. People are drawn to those who offer genuine, thoughtful value. By becoming known as someone who gives strategically and impactfully, you may find new doors opening, new opportunities arising, and your network expanding in exciting ways. But perhaps the most profound impact of strategic giving is how it can align your actions with your values and goals. By thoughtfully considering how and where to give, you ensure that your generosity is not just random kindness, but a true expression of who you are and what you stand for. This alignment creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment that goes beyond the immediate act of giving. As we conclude this exploration of strategic generosity, take a moment to reflect on how this approach might reshape your own giving. How might you apply these principles in your personal and professional life? What opportunities for high-impact giving have you perhaps overlooked? Remember, strategic generosity is not about perfection, but about intention and impact. Start small, focus on areas where you can offer unique value, and be open to learning and refining your approach over time. As you do, you may find that your giving not only creates more value for others, but also opens up new pathways for your own growth and success. In our next chapter, we'll delve into a concept that builds upon strategic giving in a powerful way. We'll explore how to create lasting impact, not just through individual acts of generosity, but by building something far more enduring. Are you ready to discover the hidden asset that can transform your giving from isolated actions into a powerful force for long-term success? Chapter 4. Building Trust Banks. Imagine a world where your relationships are as solid as fortresses, where support and collaboration flow effortlessly, and where opportunities seem to materialize just when you need them. This isn't a far-fetched utopia, but a reality that becomes possible when you master the art of building trust banks. But what exactly is a trust bank? It's not a physical institution or a digital app. Rather, it's a powerful metaphor for the accumulated goodwill and faith that others place in you. Just as you might deposit money into a savings account for future use, you can make deposits into your trust banks through consistent, thoughtful actions that build and reinforce relationships. The concept of trust banks goes beyond simple networking or relationship management. It's about creating deep, lasting connections that can withstand the test of time and adversity. It's about fostering an environment where mutual support isn't just a nice-to-have, but a fundamental aspect of how you interact with others. As we explore this concept, you'll discover that building trust banks isn't just about being nice or doing favors. It's a strategic approach to relationships that can yield profound benefits in both your personal and professional life. But why is this so important? Trust is the bedrock of any meaningful relationship, whether it's with a colleague, a friend, or a business partner. When trust is present, collaboration becomes easier, communication flows more freely, and mutual support becomes second nature. In a world where success often depends on our ability to work effectively with others, having strong trust banks can be the difference between struggling alone and thriving with support. Moreover, the equity you build in your relationships might just be the most valuable asset you can cultivate. Unlike material possessions or even specific skills, which can become obsolete, strong relationships built on trust can open doors, create opportunities, and provide support in ways that are hard to quantify but immensely valuable. Think about the last time you faced a significant challenge or opportunity. Who did you turn to for advice or support? Chances are, it was someone you trusted deeply, someone with whom you had built a strong relationship over time. This is the power of trust banks in action. But how do we go about building these trust banks? It starts with understanding that trust isn't built through grand gestures or one-time acts of kindness. Rather, it's cultivated through consistent, reliable actions over time. Think of it as making regular deposits into your trust accounts. Consistency and follow-through are the foundation of trust. When you consistently show up for others, keep your promises, and deliver on your commitments, you're making deposits into your trust banks. Each time you do what you say you'll do, you're reinforcing your reliability and trustworthiness. But not all deposits are created equal. While any positive interaction can contribute to building trust, some types of value deposits matter more than others. Emotional and intellectual support, for instance, can be particularly powerful in strengthening relationships. Emotional support might involve being there for someone during tough times, offering a listening ear without judgment, or celebrating their successes genuinely. Intellectual support could mean sharing knowledge, offering constructive feedback, or helping someone think through a complex problem. These types of support are valuable because they demonstrate that you're invested in the other person's well-being and success. They show that you're willing to give of yourself, your time, your energy, your knowledge, to help them. This kind of giving creates a deep sense of connection and reciprocity that forms the core of strong trust banks. As you begin to focus on building your trust banks, it's important to remember that small, consistent acts often have more impact than grand, one-time gestures. While a big favor might be appreciated in the moment, it's the regular, reliable support that truly builds lasting trust. This might mean checking in with a colleague regularly to see how they're doing, offering help on projects even when it's not explicitly requested, or simply remembering and acknowledging important events in others' lives. These small acts, repeated over time, create a pattern of reliability and care that significantly strengthens relationships. Reliability is key in building trust banks. It means doing what you say you'll do every single time. This doesn't mean you have to say yes to every request or take on more than you can handle. In fact, Being reliable often means being honest about what you can and can't do, and then following through on your commitments without fail. When you consistently show up and deliver, you're sending a powerful message. You can count on me. This reliability creates a sense of safety and predictability in your relationships, allowing others to relax and trust that you'll be there when it matters. As you work on building your trust banks, it's crucial to seek feedback and understand how your giving is perceived. What you think is helpful might not always align with what others find valuable. By actively seeking input, you can refine your approach and ensure that your efforts are truly making a positive impact. This feedback loop also demonstrates your commitment to the relationship. It shows that you're not just giving blindly, but that you genuinely care about meeting the other person's needs and improving your interactions. This level of attentiveness and willingness to adapt can significantly strengthen your trust banks. Of course, as with any important endeavor, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when building trust banks. One of the most common is unintentional breaches of reliability. Even with the best intentions, there might be times when you fail to follow through on a commitment or inadvertently let someone down. When this happens, the key is to communicate openly and work to rebuild trust. Acknowledge the lapse, take responsibility for it, and most importantly, take concrete steps to ensure it doesn't happen again. Remember, trust banks are resilient. A single withdrawal doesn't empty the account, but repeated breaches can erode even the strongest relationships. Another common pitfall is overpromising or under-delivering. In our eagerness to help or impress others, we might commit to more than we can realistically handle. This sets us up for failure and can damage the trust we've worked hard to build. The solution here is to adopt a mindset of under-promising and over-delivering. Be conservative in what you commit to, but then go above and beyond in your execution. This approach not only ensures that you meet your commitments, but often exceeds others' expectations, making significant deposits into your trust banks. As you continue to build your trust banks, you'll likely notice a shift in the quality and depth of your relationships. People may start coming to you more often for advice or support. You might find that opportunities seem to arise more frequently as others think of you when valuable prospects emerge. This is the compound interest of your trust banks at work. The more you invest, the greater the returns over time. But it's important to remember that building trust banks isn't about keeping score or expecting immediate returns. It's about creating a network of strong, mutually supportive relationships that enrich your life and the lives of those around you. The benefits often come in unexpected ways and at unexpected times, but they tend to far outweigh the investments you make. Moreover, as you focus on building trust banks, you may find that it changes how you approach relationships and interactions in general. You might become more attuned to others' needs, more thoughtful in your communications, and more intentional in your actions. This shift can have a profound impact not just on your relationships, but on your overall approach to life and work. Remember, building trust banks is not about manipulation or trying to curry favor. It's about genuine, authentic relationship building based on consistent, reliable, and valuable interactions. It's about creating an environment of mutual support and collaboration that benefits everyone involved. As you move forward, consider how you can start making more intentional deposits into your trust banks. What small, consistent actions can you take to demonstrate reliability and support? How can you ensure that you're following through on your commitments? And how might you seek feedback to refine your approach? Building strong trust banks takes time and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. As you cultivate these deep reserves of goodwill and trust, you're not just enhancing your relationships, you're creating a foundation for long-term success and fulfillment in all areas of your life. As we conclude this chapter, you might be wondering how to take your trust-building efforts to the next level. How can you leverage the goodwill you've accumulated to create even greater impact? In our next chapter, we'll explore a powerful concept that can amplify your giving in ways you might never have imagined. Are you ready to discover the hidden multiplier that can turn your individual efforts into a force for widespread positive change? Chapter 5. Leverage your gifts. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to make a significant impact with seemingly little effort, while others work tirelessly yet struggle to create meaningful change? The answer often lies not in the amount of effort expended, but in how effectively one leverages their unique gifts and resources. As we delve into this chapter, you'll discover a powerful approach to giving that can amplify your impact far beyond what you might have thought possible. This isn't about working harder or giving more. It's about giving smarter by tapping into the wellspring of your unique talents and resources. But what exactly do we mean by gifts? Your gifts aren't just your skills or talents, though these are certainly part of the equation. Your gifts encompass everything that makes you uniquely you: your experiences, your perspective, your network, and even your quirks and idiosyncrasies. These are the raw materials from which you can craft a giving strategy that is not only effective, but also deeply fulfilling. The importance of leveraging your gifts in your giving efforts cannot be overstated. Effective giving begins with a deep understanding of what you uniquely have to offer. When you align your giving with your natural strengths and resources, you create a synergy that amplifies your impact without requiring excessive additional effort. Think about it this way. When you're operating in your zone of strength, tasks that might be challenging for others come naturally to you. You're able to accomplish more with less strain, and the quality of your output is often higher. By focusing your giving efforts on these areas of strength, you can create significant value for others while also experiencing the joy and fulfillment that comes from operating in your element. Moreover, leveraging what you already have can dramatically amplify your impact. Instead of stretching yourself thin trying to acquire new skills or resources, you can focus on maximizing the potential of what's already at your disposal. This approach not only makes your giving more sustainable, but also allows you to create unique value that others might not be able to replicate. So, how do you begin to discover what you have to offer? The process starts with a thorough assessment of your talents. What are you naturally good at? What tasks do you find energizing rather than draining? These might be obvious skills like public speaking or problem solving, or they might be more subtle qualities like the ability to make others feel at ease or to see connections that others miss. But your assessment shouldn't stop at talents. Take stock of all your resources: your time, your skills, your knowledge, your connections, and even your physical assets. Each of these can be a powerful tool in your giving arsenal when deployed strategically. As you catalog your gifts, pay particular attention to what's scarce or in high demand. What can you provide that others might struggle to find elsewhere? This could be specialized knowledge, a unique combination of skills, or access to a particular network or resource. By focusing on these areas of scarcity, you can ensure that your giving fills a genuine need and creates significant value. Once you've identified your gifts, the next step is to maximize the value of your generosity. This means moving beyond generic acts of kindness to provide specialized, tailored help that others can't easily get elsewhere. It's about finding the sweet spot where your unique abilities intersect with others' needs. For instance, if you have a talent for simplifying complex information, you might focus your giving efforts on helping others understand and navigate challenging topics in your area of expertise. This kind of specialized assistance is often far more valuable than general support, as it addresses specific pain points that others might struggle to resolve on their own. At the same time, it's crucial to avoid spreading yourself too thin. The temptation to help everyone with everything can be strong, especially when you start to see the positive impact of your giving. However, focusing your efforts on what resonates most with others' needs allows you to create deeper, more meaningful impact. To put these principles into practice, consider performing a gift inventory. Make a comprehensive list of all your strengths and resources. Don't be modest. Include everything from major skills to minor talents, from tangible assets to intangible qualities. This inventory will serve as the foundation for your strategic giving efforts. Next, look for ways to align these gifts with the specific needs of people or groups within your network. This might involve having conversations to understand others' challenges, observing where people seem to struggle, or even conducting informal surveys to identify common pain points. As you identify potential areas for giving, focus on choosing high-impact actions that will amplify your influence. Look for opportunities where a relatively small input from you could create a significant positive outcome for others. These are the sweet spots where your giving will have the greatest leverage. As you begin to implement this approach, you might wonder what outcomes you can expect. While results will vary depending on your specific gifts and how you deploy them, there are several potential scenarios to consider. In a good outcome, you become known as someone who is reliable and valuable for specific contributions. People in your network start to recognize your unique strengths and come to you when they need help in those areas. This not only allows you to make a consistent positive impact, but also reinforces your sense of purpose and value. An excellent outcome might see your reputation growing beyond your immediate circle. Your strengths begin to attract new opportunities for collaboration and impact. You might find yourself invited to participate in projects or initiatives that align perfectly with your gifts, allowing you to create even greater value. In the best-case scenario, you experience continuous compounding returns as your giving inspires others to act in turn. Your example of strategic, impactful giving motivates those around you to identify and leverage their own gifts. This creates a ripple effect of positive impact that extends far beyond your individual efforts. Of course, as with any powerful approach, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when leveraging your gifts. One common challenge is failing to recognize your true strengths or undervaluing your contributions. We often take our natural talents for granted, assuming that what comes easily to us must be easy for everyone. This can lead to underestimating the value of our gifts. The solution to this challenge is to seek external feedback. Ask trusted friends, colleagues, or mentors what they see as your unique strengths. Pay attention to the compliments you receive or the tasks people often ask you to help with. These external perspectives can help validate your gifts and give you a more accurate picture of where you can create the most value. Another potential pitfall is overestimating what you can give, leading to burnout. In your enthusiasm to make a difference, you might commit to more than you can sustainably deliver. This not only risks damaging your relationships and reputation, but can also diminish your ability to give effectively in the long term. The key to avoiding this is to balance your giving with self-care and resource management. Remember that your ability to give is a resource that needs to be nurtured and replenished. Set boundaries, learn to say no to requests that don't align with your core strengths, and make sure to allocate time and energy for your own well-being and growth. As you continue to refine your approach to leveraging your gifts, you'll likely find that it becomes increasingly natural and rewarding. You may discover new strengths you hadn't previously recognized, or find innovative ways to combine your gifts to create even greater impact. Remember, the goal isn't to become a superhero who can solve everyone's problems. Rather, it's about becoming the best version of yourself, someone who understands their unique value and uses it strategically to create positive change in the world. By focusing on your gifts, you're not just making your giving more effective, you're also aligning your actions with your authentic self. This alignment can bring a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose to your giving efforts, making them sustainable and enjoyable in the long term. Moreover, as you become more adept at leveraging your gifts, you may find that it influences other areas of your life as well. The insights you gain about your strengths and how to deploy them effectively can inform your career choices, your personal relationships, and your approach to personal growth. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on the gifts you bring to the world. What unique combination of talents, experiences, and resources do you possess? How might you leverage these gifts more effectively to create value for others and for yourself? Remember, the journey of discovering and leveraging your gifts is ongoing. As you grow and evolve, so too will your understanding of what you have to offer. Stay curious, remain open to feedback, and continually look for new ways to align your giving with your unique strengths. In our next chapter, we'll explore a dimension of giving that can dramatically amplify the impact of your efforts. It's a factor that, when mastered, can turn even small acts of generosity into powerful catalysts for change. Are you ready to discover the hidden multiplier that can transform your giving from good to extraordinary? Chapter 6: Timing Matters Most. Have you ever wondered why some acts of kindness seem to have a profound impact, while others, despite being equally well-intentioned, barely make a ripple? The answer often lies not in the act itself, but in a factor that's frequently overlooked, yet incredibly powerful: timing. As we delve into this chapter, you'll discover that timing isn't just about being in the right place at the right time. It's a skill that can be honed, a strategy that can be mastered, and a powerful tool that can dramatically amplify the impact of your giving. But what exactly do we mean when we say timing matters most? It's not about having a perfect sense of clockwork or an uncanny ability to predict the future. Rather, it's about developing a keen awareness of the ebb and flow of opportunities, the rhythms of people's needs, and the moments when your contributions can have the most transformative impact. The importance of timing in the effectiveness of your giving cannot be overstated. When your act of generosity aligns perfectly with someone's needs or circumstances, it enhances both the emotional and practical significance of your contribution. It's the difference between offering an umbrella when it's sunny and offering one just as the first raindrops begin to fall. Conversely, poor timing can diminish the impact of even the most thoughtful generosity. A kind gesture offered at the wrong moment might go unnoticed, be misinterpreted, or even cause unintended stress. This is why mastering the art of timing is crucial for anyone who wants to maximize the positive impact of their giving. So how do we begin to recognize these key moments for giving? It starts with developing a heightened awareness of both verbal and nonverbal cues that signal when someone might need help. These cues can be subtle: a slight change in tone of voice, a fleeting expression of worry, or even an unusual silence. By tuning into these signals, you can identify opportunities to offer support before they're explicitly articulated. Beyond individual cues, it's important to observe critical turning points in people's lives. These might include transitions, such as starting a new job or moving to a new city; challenges, like facing a difficult project or personal setback; celebrations of achievements, or new beginnings of any kind. These moments of change often represent times when people are most open to or in need of support. But recognizing these moments is only half the battle. The real power lies in creating opportunities through strategic timing. This means not just waiting for the perfect moment to present itself, but proactively anticipating needs before others even articulate them. It's about positioning yourself as a reliable presence during significant moments in others' lives. Imagine, for instance, reaching out to a colleague with an offer of help just as they're about to start a challenging new project, or sending a message of encouragement to a friend on the morning of an important presentation. These well-timed gestures can have a disproportionate impact, not just in practical terms, but in strengthening your relationships and building trust. To put these principles into practice, consider keeping track of important dates or milestones for your colleagues, friends, and connections. This doesn't mean becoming a walking calendar, but rather developing a system to remind you of significant events in others' lives. Whether it's work anniversaries, project deadlines, or personal milestones, being aware of these dates allows you to time your support or congratulations perfectly. Another crucial skill is learning to listen more closely. Often, the opportunities to give meaningfully are hidden in casual conversations or offhand remarks. By practicing active listening, truly focusing on what others are saying rather than just waiting for your turn to speak, you can identify moments where your support could make a real difference. As you become more attuned to these opportunities, it's helpful to apply what we might call an urgency filter. This means prioritizing immediate needs or challenges over those that are less time-sensitive. A timely word of encouragement or offer of help during a stressful moment can be far more impactful than a grander gesture made at a less critical time. But what outcomes can you expect as you master the art of timing in your giving? In a good scenario, your actions will be deeply appreciated and remembered during critical situations. People will recognize not just your generosity, but your perceptiveness in offering help when it was most needed. An excellent outcome might see people viewing you as a true ally, someone who not only gives, but who truly understands their needs and rhythms. This deep level of understanding enhances trust and strengthens your relationships in profound ways. In the best-case scenario, your strategic timing creates a multiplier effect, amplifying the impact of your giving throughout your network. Your well-timed actions inspire others to be more attentive and responsive, creating a ripple effect of timely support and generosity. Of course, as with any skill, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when focusing on timing. One common mistake is acting too late and missing the moment entirely. This often happens when we second-guess ourselves or wait for a perfect moment that never arrives. The solution is to practice keen observation and active listening, trusting your instincts when you sense an opportunity to give. Another risk is giving at the wrong time, which can sometimes come across as insincere or even intrusive. This might happen if we rush to offer support without fully understanding the situation or the person's needs. The key here is to prioritize empathy over speed. Take the time to truly understand the context before offering your support. As you continue to refine your sense of timing, you'll likely find that it becomes an almost intuitive part of how you approach giving. You'll start to notice opportunities you might have missed before, and your acts of generosity will take on a new level of impact and meaning. Remember, mastering timing doesn't mean you need to be available 24/7 or constantly on the lookout for ways to help. It's about developing a heightened awareness that allows you to make the most of the opportunities that align with your capacity to give. It's about quality over quantity, making each act of giving count by ensuring it comes at just the right moment. Moreover, as you become more adept at recognizing and creating optimal giving moments, you may find that this skill extends beyond your acts of generosity. The ability to sense the right timing can be invaluable in all areas of life, from professional decisions to personal relationships. It's also worth noting that sometimes the most impactful timing isn't about immediate action, but about patience. There may be situations where the best thing you can do is to hold back, allowing someone the space to work through a challenge on their own. The skill lies in discerning when to step in and when to step back. As you practice the art of timing, you might start to notice patterns or rhythms in the needs of those around you. Perhaps certain times of the year are particularly stressful for your colleagues, or specific life events tend to trigger a need for support among your friends. By recognizing these patterns, you can prepare in advance, positioning yourself to offer timely support when it's most likely to be needed. It's also important to remember that timing isn't just about when you give, but also about how long you give. Sometimes, the most impactful support is sustained over time, especially during extended periods of challenge or transition. Being there at the start is important, but following through consistently can be even more powerful. As we wrap up this exploration of timing, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Think about times when you've received help or support at just the right moment. How did it make you feel? How did it impact your relationship with the person who offered that timely support? Now, consider how you might create similar moments for others in your life. Remember, mastering the art of timing in your giving is a journey, not a destination. It's a skill that you'll continue to refine throughout your life, becoming more attuned to the rhythms of those around you and more adept at offering support when it can have the greatest impact. As you move forward, stay curious and observant. Each interaction is an opportunity to practice your timing, to learn more about the needs and rhythms of those in your life. With time and practice, you'll find that your giving becomes not just more impactful, but more deeply satisfying as well. In our next chapter, we'll explore a dimension of giving that might challenge your preconceptions. It's an aspect that many overlook, yet it's crucial for maintaining the balance and sustainability of your generosity. Are you ready to discover the hidden key that can transform your giving from a one-way street into a dynamic exchange of value? Chapter 7, Receiving Gracefully. As we embark on this chapter, you might be wondering why a book about giving more includes a section on receiving. After all, isn't the focus supposed to be on how we can contribute to others? But as we delve deeper into the art of generosity, we uncover a surprising truth. The ability to receive gracefully is just as crucial as the act of giving itself. Think about the last time someone offered you help or a gift, and you instinctively responded with, "Oh, you shouldn't have," or "I couldn't possibly accept that." While these responses might seem polite on the surface, they reveal a common misconception about the nature of generosity. By reflexively refusing or downplaying others' attempts to give to us, we may inadvertently be disrupting a vital cycle of goodwill and connection. But what exactly do we mean by receiving gracefully? It's more than just saying thank you or accepting a gift with a smile. Receiving gracefully is an art form in itself, one that requires self-awareness, humility, and a deep understanding of the reciprocal nature of human relationships. The importance of mastering this skill cannot be overstated. At its core, generosity is a two-way street. For giving to occur, there must be someone willing and able to receive. When we refuse to accept help, compliments, or gifts from others, we're not just denying ourselves, we're denying the giver the opportunity to experience the joy and fulfillment that comes from contributing. Moreover, refusing to receive can unintentionally disrupt the flow of goodwill within our relationships. It can create an imbalance where one person is always the giver and the other always the recipient. Over time, this imbalance can lead to resentment, burnout, or a sense of indebtedness that strains the relationship. To truly understand the power of receiving gracefully, we need to explore the concept of the reciprocity cycle. This cycle is a fundamental aspect of human social dynamics, deeply ingrained in our psychology and cultural norms. When someone gives to us, it creates a subtle bond, a connection that is strengthened when we accept their generosity with grace and appreciation. This cycle of giving and receiving is not about keeping score or ensuring that every act is repaid in kind. Rather, it's about creating a flow of goodwill that enriches both parties. When we receive gracefully, we're not just accepting a gift or favor, we're acknowledging the giver's value and reinforcing their sense of worth and contribution. Understanding this cycle helps us see why it's essential to accept returns without guilt or false modesty. When we deflect compliments or refuse help, we might think we're being humble or self-sufficient. In reality, we're denying the giver the satisfaction of contributing and potentially discouraging future acts of generosity. So how do we put these principles into practice? One of the most fundamental steps is learning to say thank you sincerely and unconditionally. This might seem simple, but it's surprising how often we qualify our thanks with statements like, "You didn't have to do that," or "I don't deserve this." Instead, try simply saying thank you and allowing yourself to fully feel and express your gratitude. Another crucial aspect of receiving gracefully is allowing others the joy of contributing to your success. When someone offers help or support, view it not as a burden on them, but as an opportunity for them to experience the satisfaction of making a difference. By accepting their contribution, you're actually giving them a gift, the gift of feeling valued and impactful. As you become more comfortable with receiving, you'll find opportunities to reinvest the returns you receive back into the giving loop. This doesn't mean you need to immediately reciprocate every act of kindness. Instead, think of it as paying it forward, using the support and resources you receive to fuel your own acts of generosity, thus sustaining and expanding the cycle of giving and receiving. But what outcomes can you expect as you master the art of receiving gracefully? In a good scenario, you'll develop a reputation for gratitude and openness. People will feel appreciated when they give to you, which in turn will encourage them to give more freely, not just to you, but to others as well. You become a catalyst for generosity in your social and professional circles. An excellent outcome might see receiving becoming a powerful tool for building lasting relationships. As you engage in cycles of giving and receiving, you create deeper bonds of trust and reciprocity. These relationships become more balanced, more authentic, and more resilient over time. In the best-case scenario, your ability to receive gracefully contributes to a network that grows stronger and more collaborative. The seamless flow of giving and receiving creates an environment where people are more willing to share resources, offer support, and work together towards common goals. Your entire network becomes more dynamic and resilient as a result. Of course, as with any skill, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when learning to receive gracefully. One common issue is rejecting help due to pride or a perceived need for self-sufficiency. We might think that accepting help makes us look weak or incapable. The solution here is to reflect on the value you provide to others when you allow them to give to you. By accepting their help, you're actually strengthening your relationship and creating opportunities for future collaboration. Another challenge is the tendency to overanalyze others' motives when they give back. We might wonder if they have ulterior motives or if they expect something in return. This kind of thinking can create unnecessary stress and strain in relationships. The solution is to focus on the authenticity of the relationship itself. Trust that genuine acts of kindness are just that, genuine, and respond with open-hearted gratitude. As you continue to practice receiving gracefully, you may notice a shift in your overall approach to relationships. You might find yourself more open to asking for help when you need it, more appreciative of the small kindnesses that come your way each day, and more aware of the interconnected nature of your success and the success of those around you. This shift can have profound effects on your personal and professional life. In the workplace, for example, being able to receive feedback graciously can accelerate your growth and improve your performance. In personal relationships, the ability to accept care and support from others can deepen your connections and enrich your emotional life. Moreover, as you become more comfortable with receiving, you may find that your own giving becomes more authentic and joyful. When you understand firsthand the positive impact of receiving gracefully, you're more likely to give without expectation or attachment to outcomes. Your generosity becomes an expression of genuine care rather than a means to an end. It's important to note that receiving gracefully doesn't mean accepting everything that's offered to you. Part of this skill is learning to discern when to accept and when to politely decline. The key is to do so in a way that honors the giver's intention and maintains the positive flow of the relationship. As we wrap up this exploration of receiving gracefully, take a moment to reflect on your own patterns of giving and receiving. Are there areas where you tend to resist accepting help or acknowledgement? How might shifting your approach to receiving change your relationships and your overall experience of generosity? Remember, mastering the art of receiving gracefully is a journey, not a destination. It's a skill that you'll continue to refine throughout your life, becoming more attuned to the ebb and flow of giving and receiving in your relationships. With practice, you'll find that it becomes not just a skill, but a way of being that enriches your life and the lives of those around you. As you move forward, stay open to the gifts that come your way, whether they're tangible offerings, words of encouragement, or acts of service. Each instance of receiving is an opportunity to strengthen your relationships, to honor the giver, and to participate more fully in the beautiful cycle of generosity that connects us all. In our next chapter, we'll explore a concept that takes everything we've discussed so far and amplifies it exponentially. we'll delve into a powerful principle that can transform your individual acts of giving into a force that reshapes entire communities. Are you ready to discover the hidden multiplier that can turn your generosity into a catalyst for widespread positive change? Chapter 8: Compound Giving Effect. Have you ever wondered how some individuals or organizations seem to create an outsized impact, far beyond what their resources or efforts would suggest? The secret often lies in a powerful principle that, when understood and applied correctly, can transform modest acts of generosity into a force for widespread positive change. Welcome to the world of the compound giving effect. At first glance, the term compound giving might sound like financial jargon misapplied to the realm of generosity. But as we delve deeper into this concept, you'll discover that it's a revolutionary approach to giving that can exponentially increase your impact over time. The compound giving effect is not about giving more in terms of quantity. It's about creating a system of giving that grows and multiplies its impact organically. Imagine planting a seed that not only grows into a tree, but also spreads its own seeds, creating a forest over time. This is the essence of compound giving: small, consistent acts of generosity that, when strategically implemented, can grow into a self-sustaining ecosystem of positive impact. But why is this approach so important? In a world where the challenges we face often seem overwhelming, the compound giving effect offers a ray of hope. It demonstrates how giving, even on a small scale, can grow into large-scale impact over time. It's a testament to the power of consistency and intentionality in our acts of generosity. Moreover, the compound giving effect addresses a crucial aspect of success in any endeavor: sustainability. By creating habits and systems that support ongoing generosity, we set the stage for more significant and enduring success. This isn't about one-off acts of kindness, but about building a lifestyle of giving that continues to yield benefits long into the future. So how do we begin to harness the power of the compound giving effect? It starts with understanding that we're not just engaging in isolated acts of giving, but designing entire ecosystems of generosity. This means cultivating generous relationships across all spheres of our lives: personal, professional, and community. In your personal life, this might involve nurturing friendships where mutual support and generosity are the norm. In your professional sphere, it could mean fostering a workplace culture where knowledge sharing and mentorship are encouraged and valued. In your community, it might involve participating in or initiating projects that promote collective well-being. The key is to see these relationships not as separate entities, but as interconnected parts of a larger ecosystem. Each act of generosity in one area can have ripple effects that extend to others. For instance, the skills you develop through community volunteering might enhance your professional capabilities, which in turn allows you to offer more valuable support to your personal network. As you build this ecosystem, you'll find opportunities to leverage collaboration to scale up your results. This is where the true power of the compound giving effect begins to manifest. By connecting with others who share your commitment to generosity, you can create initiatives and projects that have far greater impact than any individual could achieve alone. But how do we put these principles into practice in our daily lives? One of the most effective strategies is to create daily or weekly generosity routines rooted in consistency. This doesn't mean grand gestures every day, but rather small, manageable acts of giving that you can sustain over time. For example, you might set aside a few minutes each day to offer words of encouragement to someone in your network, or dedicate an hour each week to sharing your expertise with a colleague or mentee. The key is consistency. These small acts, repeated over time, form the foundation of the compound giving effect. As you establish these routines, it's helpful to develop systems to track and sustain your giving. This isn't about keeping score, but rather about creating feedback loops that help you understand the impact of your efforts and identify areas for improvement or expansion. This could be as simple as keeping a journal of your giving activities and the responses you receive, or as sophisticated as using digital tools to map out your network of giving and receiving. The goal is to maintain awareness of your giving patterns and their effects, allowing you to refine your approach over time. One of the most powerful aspects of the compound giving effect is its ability to build communities where collective generosity benefits everyone involved. As you consistently engage in acts of giving, you'll likely find that others around you begin to adopt similar behaviors. This creates a positive feedback loop, where generosity begets more generosity, amplifying the overall impact. Imagine a workplace where everyone is committed to sharing knowledge and supporting each other's growth. Or a neighborhood where residents regularly collaborate on projects to improve their community. These are examples of the compound giving effect in action, ecosystems of generosity that create value far beyond what any individual could achieve alone. Of course, as with any powerful approach, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when implementing the compound giving effect. One common issue is a lack of consistency undermining the compounding effect. It's easy to start with enthusiasm, but lose momentum over time. The solution is to build giving into your routines and habits, making it as natural and automatic as any other important aspect of your life. Another potential problem is over-reliance on others without reciprocating. While the compound giving effect creates abundant resources, it's important to maintain balance in the network. Everyone should be both a giver and a receiver. If you find yourself consistently taking without giving back, look for ways to contribute that align with your strengths and resources. As you continue to explore and implement the compound giving effect, you'll likely discover that it transforms not just your impact on others, but your own experience of life as well. You may find yourself more attuned to opportunities for giving, more aware of the interconnectedness of your actions, and more fulfilled by the positive changes you're creating. Moreover, the compound giving effect can lead to unexpected benefits in your personal and professional life. As your network of giving expands, you may find new opportunities opening up, new collaborations forming, and new resources becoming available to you. This isn't about giving in order to get, but rather a natural outcome of being deeply engaged in a thriving ecosystem of generosity. It's important to note that the compound giving effect isn't about creating dependency or fostering a sense of obligation. Instead, it's about building resilient, mutually supportive networks where everyone has the opportunity to both give and receive. The goal is to create a rising tide that lifts all boats, not to position yourself as an indispensable benefactor. As you implement the principles of compound giving, you may find that your perspective on success and achievement begins to shift. Instead of measuring your impact solely by your individual accomplishments, you might start to see your success in terms of the strength and vibrancy of the giving ecosystems you're part of. This shift can bring a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose to your efforts. Remember, the compound giving effect is not about immediate results. Like compound interest in finance, the real power of this approach manifests over time. It requires patience, consistency, and a long-term perspective. But for those who commit to this approach, the potential for creating lasting, significant impact is immense. As we wrap up this exploration of the compound giving effect, take a moment to reflect on your own giving ecosystem. What small, consistent acts of generosity could you implement in your daily routine? How might you leverage your existing relationships and resources to create more opportunities for collective giving? And how could you track and sustain your giving efforts over time? Remember, every journey begins with a single step. The compound giving effect starts with small actions consistently applied. As you move forward, stay curious and open to the possibilities that emerge. Each act of giving, no matter how small, has the potential to set in motion a chain of events that could lead to profound positive change. In our final chapter, we'll explore how all the principles we've discussed come together to create something truly revolutionary. We'll examine a vision of the future where strategic, compound giving becomes the driving force of success and fulfillment. Are you ready to discover how your individual commitment to giving more can contribute to a transformative shift in how we think about value, success, and human interaction? Prepare to step into a new paradigm that could reshape not just your life, but the very fabric of society itself. Chapter 9: The Giving Economy. As we reach the culmination of our journey through the transformative power of strategic generosity, it's time to zoom out and envision a future where the principles we've explored aren't just individual practices, but the very foundation of how we interact, create value, and measure success. Welcome to the giving economy, a paradigm shift that has the potential to reshape not just our personal and professional lives, but the very fabric of society. The giving economy isn't a utopian fantasy or a naive ideal. It's a practical, powerful approach to creating value and achieving success that's grounded in the realities of human psychology and the dynamics of our interconnected world. It's a vision of a future where strategic giving becomes the primary currency of success, where collaboration trumps competition, and where the creation of shared value is the driving force of progress. But what exactly do we mean by a giving economy? Imagine a world where your success is measured not just by what you accumulate, but by the value you create for others. Where your influence is determined not by your title or your bank account, but by the strength and vibrancy of the giving networks you've cultivated. Where opportunities flow to those who have demonstrated a consistent commitment to contributing value to their communities and networks. This might sound radical, but in many ways, we're already seeing glimpses of this future emerging around us. The rise of the sharing economy, the growing emphasis on corporate social responsibility, the increasing value placed on soft skills like empathy and collaboration, these are all indicators of a shift towards a more giving-centric approach to value creation. So, how can you position yourself to thrive in this emerging giving economy? Let's start by reflecting on how the concepts you've learned throughout this book can empower you to lead the way in this new paradigm. First and foremost, recognize how strategic generosity positions you as a leader in your relationships and networks. In the giving economy, leadership isn't about command and control. It's about influence, inspiration, and the ability to catalyze positive change. By consistently engaging in thoughtful, impactful acts of giving, you establish yourself as someone who creates value for others. This naturally draws people to you and increases your sphere of influence. Moreover, the skills you've developed in designing and executing impactful acts of giving are invaluable in this new paradigm. You've learned to identify needs, leverage your unique gifts, time your contributions for maximum impact, and create compound effects through consistent giving. These abilities position you to create significant value in any context, making you an invaluable asset in the giving economy. But the benefits of embracing this approach extend far beyond individual empowerment. One of the most profound impacts of participating in the giving economy is how it transforms your relationships. By fostering trust and goodwill through consistent strategic giving, you strengthen your existing bonds in ways that go beyond traditional networking or relationship management. Think about the depth of connection you feel with someone who has consistently supported your growth, offered help when you needed it most, or championed your success. Now imagine cultivating that level of bond with a wide network of individuals. This is the potential of the giving economy, to create rich, resilient relationships that serve as a foundation for both personal fulfillment and professional success. Furthermore, your authentic, value-driven behavior in the giving economy naturally attracts new connections. People are drawn to those who consistently create value, and as you embrace this approach, you'll likely find your network expanding in organic, meaningful ways. These aren't superficial connections based on mutual self-interest, but deep, collaborative relationships rooted in shared value creation. As you fully embrace the principles of the giving economy, you'll find yourself able to achieve things that might have seemed impossible before. One of the most powerful outcomes is the ability to create scalable networks centered on mutual benefit. Unlike traditional hierarchical structures, these networks are flexible, resilient, and capable of rapid growth and adaptation. Imagine being able to mobilize a diverse group of individuals to tackle a complex challenge. each contributing their unique skills and resources not out of obligation, but out of a shared commitment to creating value. This is the power of the giving networks you'll be able to cultivate. Moreover, your consistent practice of strategic giving will unlock opportunities that were previously unavailable to you. In the giving economy, doors open for those who have demonstrated their ability to create value for others. You might find yourself invited to participate in exciting projects, offered leadership roles in community initiatives, or given access to resources and connections that can accelerate your personal and professional growth. But perhaps the most exciting aspect of the giving economy is how it allows you to improve your results with less and less effort over time. As you continue to practice the concepts in this book, you'll develop habits and systems of giving that create compounding returns with minimal exertion. Your strategic generosity becomes second nature, integrated seamlessly into your daily life and work. Furthermore, as others begin to contribute back into the system you've helped create, you'll see your impact expand exponentially. The giving networks you've cultivated become self-sustaining ecosystems of value creation, with each member contributing to the collective benefit. Your initial efforts act as a catalyst, setting in motion a virtuous cycle of giving and receiving that continues to grow and evolve even without your constant input. As we conclude our exploration of the giving economy, it's important to recognize that this isn't just a personal strategy for success. It's a vision for a more collaborative, sustainable, and fulfilling way of creating value in the world. By embracing this approach, you're not just positioning yourself for individual success. You're contributing to a broader shift in how we think about economics, value creation, and human interaction. Imagine a world where businesses compete not just on profit margins, but on the positive impact they create for their employees, customers, and communities. Where educational institutions are judged not just on test scores, but on how well they prepare students to contribute meaningfully to society. Where political leaders are evaluated not on their ability to win arguments, but on their capacity to foster collaboration and create shared value. This is the potential of the giving economy, a world where strategic generosity isn't just a personal practice, but the driving force of social and economic progress. And the most exciting part, you have the power to help bring this vision to life. Every time you engage in an act of strategic giving, every time you cultivate a giving-centered relationship, every time you inspire others to embrace this approach, you're contributing to the emergence of the giving economy. You're not just changing your own life, you're playing a part in reshaping the world. As you close this book and step back into your daily life, carry with you the knowledge that you now possess a powerful set of tools for creating value, building meaningful relationships, and achieving lasting success. But more than that, carry with you the awareness that you're part of something bigger, a growing movement of individuals who are redefining success and reshaping the way we create and exchange value. The giving economy isn't some distant future. It's emerging right now through the actions of people like you who choose to embrace strategic generosity as a way of life. As you move forward, continue to refine your giving practices, expand your giving networks, and inspire others to join you in this approach. Remember, every act of strategic giving, no matter how small, has the potential to set in motion a chain of events that could lead to profound positive change. You've taken the first steps on a journey that has the potential to transform not just your life, but the lives of countless others. The path ahead is filled with opportunities for growth, connection, and meaningful impact. Embrace the principles of the giving economy and watch as your world expands, your influence grows, and your capacity to create positive change multiplies beyond what you ever thought possible. Welcome to the giving economy. Your journey to a more fulfilling, impactful, and successful life has just begun. As you embrace strategic generosity, you'll discover that your ability to create positive change multiplies beyond what you ever thought possible. But to truly maximize the power of your giving, you'll need to connect with the right people who can amplify your impact. Building a powerful network is the key to unlocking the full potential of your newfound giving skills. How can you create these vital connections that will exponentially increase your influence and success? The answer lies in mastering the art of networking. To continue your transformation and learn how to build these crucial relationships, tap the center of the video now to access the audiobook, How to Build a Powerful Network, Unstoppable Influence for Limitless Success.